talking to Stacey Jackson, who's got a brand new single coming out very, very shortly. We've been playing it. It's called Is This Love? Hello, Stacey. Nice to hear from you.
Hi, nice to hear from you too.
Right. Now, you're actually originally from Canada, but you're currently living in England, aren't you?
Yes, we live in London now, but I'm originally from Montreal.
Right. So, most people who live in England, dare I say, would actually quite like to go and live in Canada. What brings you in the other direction?
Well, I lived about 10 years in New York, and then we came over here. It was a business opportunity for my husband, and we loved it so much we stayed. Pretty much, it was one of those things where, we'll try it out for a couple of years and see what happens. And sure enough, we're selling our house in New York and permanently residing here. It's great.
Right. And how are you finding the music business in England compared to New York?
It's interesting that you asked that. I mean, because this is my first time. Funnily enough, my releases have been solely based in the UK and Ireland. So this is my first time with the song that I'm going back into the US. So the difference, I would think, especially in my industry, is in the dance music industry, would be that the remixes are different. And so I would say, just from experience, what works over here might not work over there in a club or on the radio per se. So I think we just have to give a lot more variety. That's the difference for me currently what I'm doing now.
Right. Okay. Now you had a big hit last summer, didn't you, with "Live It Up"?
Yeah, Live It Up. It featured Snoop Dogg. It's a great tune. If I say so myself, I wrote it. But we launched it softly here in the UK, and it flew up the chart to number 2, which was awesome. So we're going to release it globally at the end of this year when my album comes out. So, yeah, it's very exciting.
Brilliant. So what was he like to work with?
He was amazing. It was funny. I mean, we spent a while together, in fact, because I flew over to Boston to record with him. And, he's very professional. I think he just sort of loved everything that I'm doing. I'm a mom. I have a few kids, and he's a dad. And we actually just sat down and were chatting about parenting, believe it or not. We chatted about football. He was really cool. And I think he obviously liked the song. And he rapped on it, and his rap was very personal to me. He listened to the track over and over and over and over again, and he really got it. And we really hit it off. He was really terrific. It was really an experience.
Brilliant. You mentioned that you got children. You actually got 4 children, haven't you?
I have 4.
So how do you
keeping me on my toes?
How do you fit everything in?
It's like a puzzle. Funnily enough. I find that you just really have to balance. I mean, luckily, I perform, funnily enough, as I perform late at night. Like, I'm in a club at midnight, So, I'll put the kids to bed. I eat dinner with them. I'm home when they come home from school. I'm pretty much in the recording studio while they're at school, and then if I'm performing, it's really late at night. Obviously, when I'm on tour, that's different, and my husband kicks in, or my mom will fly over from Canada to help out. But by and large, I really try to squeeze it all in, so I can sort of do both the soccer mom and the rocker mom.
So what do the children think to their mum being a pop star?
They're used to it, but I think the first year or so was a bit of a challenge. My kids, some of them are adolescent years, and I think any mom, no matter what they do, is kind of embarrassing for, a 15, 16-year-old kid. You don't even want to kiss them at the school gates. It's like, Ma, what are you doing? So for me, I think they finally got used to it. And I also think that, they know that Mummy is extremely happy doing what she's doing. And I think a happy Stacey is definitely a happy Mummy, and a happy Mummy is a happy Stacey. And, both of those worlds have to really come together in order for me to do what I do best. So I think they respect that.
Right, so we've got your new release here, Is This Love? It's a Whitesnake. It's a sort of a heavy rock classic originally. How did you choose this one?
Well, back in the day, I was my influences are really, rock. I grew up in the sort of 80s with the big hair and the metal, and I love Whitesnake. Guns N' Roses, Whitesnake. That was my whole era. And it was about the year I met my husband. Was that song was was playing, and so it holds something dear in my heart. And I always thought it would be a great idea. If I took a hard rock song and changed it up and made it into a dance track. I mean, funnily enough, I had an album. My first album out was a Motown's cover album that went to the profits of the album went to Music for Youth, which is a charity here based in the UK. And what I did was I took a bunch of Motown songs and rocked it out. So I just love doing that. I just love being able to try to take a classic and make it my own. And so with Whitesnake, we turned it into a dance track, and so far so good. It's doing quite well, at least over in the U.S., and it's going to be launching here in March. So yeah, I'm glad you're playing it.
Right, and you say you're working on your new album at the moment. What's the theme of that, and when are we going to see that?
Well, it's you'll see it with when I come out with the Snoop track over in the U.S. So it'll be the end of this year, like around September, October 2012. It's almost finished, actually. It's 10 songs at the moment, all written and co-written with some amazing producers who've worked with Gabrielle Chilmy and Girls Aloud and Annie Lennox and James Morrison. I have a great team of people who I work with. It's about, all the songs are written about, experiences, my relationships with my family, my kids, my travels. Live It Up was written about a dream I had. I Am a Woman is about, empowering women. And, so it's all originals, which is great, other than the Whitesnake track. And we thought it would be a good idea to go out with a cover, especially in the U.S., because they don't know me yet over there, which is ironic. I spent 10 years living there, but they don't know me musically yet. So hopefully the cover will launch that for me and big up my profile a bit. Okay,
so other than that, you write all your own songs, do you?
Yep.
Have you got a musical background? Do you write the music as well as the words?
I do. I mean, funnily enough, it doesn't come out the way I'll sit at the piano and write a tune, or I'll have a melody in my head, or sometimes I'll just sing the melody into my phone, which is terrific. If I have something that pops into my brain and I don't want to forget it, so then I can just write the melody, and when it comes out into a dance track, it starts off one way and then ends up in a completely different zone. But that's the beauty of music and art. It's like you can start off in your head with one hook, and then all of a sudden it turns out to be a top 10 pop song. So I sit and I write with my producers, and it's amazing what we can churn out in the studio with one sort of little melody. It's fun. I really enjoy it.